Smile 2 is officially out. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. We are here officially tonight reviewing Smile 2, which opened up tonight in theaters. Now, before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to follow me on all the social media pages. And without further ado, let's get into it. Let's just say this movie was a great storytelling film that had me very confused at the ending, but the ending was not necessarily bad. When it comes to this movie, you are really seeing Skye Riley, a pop star who is trying to come back from a terrible car wreck, which killed her boyfriend due to a bunch of substance abuse issues and things like that. And that is very evident. Now, during this time, you see Skye try to really rebuild her career, but she is faced with demons that really set up the way the story is going to go. Now, when it comes to this movie, I will admit the very beginning, I was absolutely confused about. Maybe I need to go rewatch the first movie and see if I missed something. But I was very confused for the first about 7 to 10 minutes. But once the story picked up, you were very intrigued. Now, looking at this movie, I will admit there were a few times that I had a little bit of a jump scare because I did not expect to see what I was going to see. Now, that's not necessarily in a gross way. That's just the way everything snuck up on you. Now, looking at the storytelling, like I said, it's following Skye, her journey back, all the ups and downs, which ultimately it shows how she is possessed by the entity. Now, I will not spoil it just because I do not do that, but the way that it is portrayed in the film is insane. Now, we get to the overall film and the perception, and I will admit there were a lot of people in the theater, and you just saw and heard the reaction of others while we were watching the movie. You heard them sitting there getting scared. As we were walking out, one girl said, "I have never been that scared in my life," but I will not go that far and say it is the scariest movie that I have ever seen. Now, I think the one interesting aspect that keeps you intrigued in this movie is the way that the people that are smiling appear. It's random. It's one of those things where you feel like, okay, the movie's just going, we're going to hear more of a story, and then, my God, they just appear. And when they appear, let's just say it is, in one scene in particular, is very creepy. I won't go further into it, but one scene, I literally had a jump scare. It was cold in the theater, but I was in the middle of a jump scare. Now, let's go ahead and get into rating. Now, as I was watching this movie, a lot of it came into play of how do I feel? And to be honest, I felt a little bit different seeing this one than I did Smile 1. I was a little bit worried early on about the following of a pop star and where the story was going to go. However, I think the director did an excellent job. I felt like once the movie started to pick up, you became more intrigued and your reactions became more important, meaning you couldn't just sit there lazy and expect it just to be a storytelling movie, because if you did, something was going to pop up and put you back on the edge of your seat. I also look at it from the perspective of what was the audience feeling like. And like I said, our audience was engaged the entire time. You heard the sounds, you heard them kind of making the scared faces and noises. The people in front of me, I seen them duck their heads a few times. So it is definitely one of those movies that will create that suspense. And lastly, how do I feel leaving? Do I feel like I wasted my time? Do I feel like I just should have went home and saw something different? Absolutely not. I am leaving the theater actually enjoying the fact that I got to see this movie tonight and I went and saw it. I don't feel like I wasted my time. I don't feel like the 2 hours was a waste. Simple as that. It was not a waste of time. Now, I will say the one little bit of a drawback is the runtime. It is long. I understand they're trying to fit a lot into it, but the runtime can throw you off just a little bit. But for me, at the end of the day, that runtime was not a deal breaker. When it comes to Smile 2, I am giving this film a 4.6 out of 5. I felt like this movie was enjoyable. I felt like it gave you those little bit of a scare that you wanted. And I also felt like the storytelling was done very well. So for me, 4.6 out of 5 for Smile 2. Definitely recommend you go see it. I do have another review coming out tomorrow. And then we have a few more this weekend. But make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to follow me on all the social media pages. Make sure to go check out the other reviews I have posted. And I will talk to you all later.